Drawing made simple. So, first thing first, I'm going to sharpen my pencil. I've actually injured my thumb. Oh no. Drawing made it not so simple. With the... I should probably empty this. Luckily I have a spare. Okay, let's try this again. So, the reason why I started this series was to share my love of drawing. I feel that everyone should have a habit that calms you. We have habits that strengthen, like working out. We have habits that help intellectualize, like reading or study. But drawing, I feel, has this unique sense that it can be very meditative. And if you do it with that intention, it can be very simple. I'm not putting a lot of thought into what's going on. I'm just kind of finding, scribbling, shading. Not too sure what it's going to turn into, but whatever it is, I'll be happy with it. And that's because I put time into it. I'm not happy with it because it looks fantastic or because it hits a certain threshold that might impress people. No, the reason that I'm happy about it is because I set time aside that I told myself I'd do, and I did it. Now, I want this to be a fairly short series of 20 to 30 minutes. Because that's all we really need. Now, if you think that 20 to 30 minutes is a long time, think about your favorite TV show. It's probably in the 20 to 30 minute mark. And we spend a lot of time watching TV shows. And I'm not saying that watching TV shows is bad, necessarily. Done in excess, it could be. I certainly like to watch TV shows. But if you spend that same amount of time drawing while even watching it, or just drawing without it, or painting, or whatever it is you want to do, then you might have a better sense of fulfillment after that 30 minutes. And there's no wrong way to do it. If you have 30 minutes, 20 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 30 seconds to sit down and do a little quick sketch, a little quick painting, something that'll ease your brain a little bit. It will feel a lot better than if you just sat there and scrolled on TikTok for 30 minutes or found some YouTube rabbit hole to go down. Look, I have no idea what this is going to turn into. Greetings everyone, rolling in. Hope you're all doing well. Do a good drawing, someone said. I will try my best, but I cannot please everyone. To me, this is a good drawing. Someone else said interesting. Thank you. Look, you're never going to find that everyone's going to like your art. But the only person you're trying to impress is yourself. Because you're the only real audience. If you're living for other people, yeah, that's right. You try to impress yourself. Because that's all that really matters. You know, try to shock yourself with how good you can get at a skill. Because if you live for other people, then you're never really going to be fulfilled, because people are never going to be pleased. Some people may like it, and that's great, but there's always going to be someone, no matter how good it is, more often than not, that won't like it. And you just got to accept that. If you're willing to share it with the world, you got to be willing to take the feedback. That's the nature of it. Now, you don't have to share it with the world. You can just keep it like a personal sketchbook. You're the only one that can see it. That's totally fine. Although, if you want to share it with the world, like I said, people are going to criticize, for good or worse. That's why I really like the idea of keeping a journal. Because you don't have to show anyone. And a lot of the times when people want to see it, like when they ask you specifically, then they'll usually have good things to say. But if you go around asking for advice, you got to be willing to take the criticism. Because some people are going to be pretty blunt with their criticism. Yeah, honestly, I don't understand what this is either. But thank you. That's the fun thing about drawing. You don't really... Well, the style that I do is I don't really know what it's going to turn out to be. It kind of looks like some sort of alien. I'm thinking about doing like a Cthulhu kind of mouth with tentacles coming out this way. That's where my head's at the moment. But I'm not too sure where it's going to lead. It's a duck alien. I like that. An alien duck. Maybe I should put a beak or a bill on him, like this. Turn him into a duck. I do like the idea of having like a bill. A dolphin? Oh, it could be a dolphin if you look at it like this way. Put a fin on it this way. And if you stick to basic ideas, like keeping values, you know, shadows under high points, you can't really go wrong. Like this one, this sketch is a little bit more difficult than the last one I did yesterday. Yesterday was a bit more cartoonish, but today this one has a little sense of realism, almost textured. Still could turn it into a cartoon, but if you just stick to, you know, some basic ideas that you're familiar with, don't go too overboard, then it should be pretty good. I am from Australia, live streaming out of New South Wales. I actually quite like the duckbill variation, opposed to the tentacles. I always draw tentacles when I don't know what to draw. So whoever said the duckbill, I quite like this variation. Where's everyone else from? It's from Serbia. Not Austria, but Australia. Oh, South Africa, nice. I've always wanted to go to South Africa. I'm not sure, honestly. Time and effort, I guess. I'm also saving a little bit at the moment. Yeah, Austria and Australia. I'm not sure why they sound so similar. It's like Zealand and New Zealand. It's like, yeah. But I think I'll definitely go to South Africa before I die. It's one of those places. Yeah, it's starting to take shape a little bit. Glad that we're all seeing the vision a little bit, but honestly I didn't see where it was going until very recently as well. Kind of just got to trust the process a little bit. Yeah, so do I. I love drawing creatures. I'm not sure whether to put a bottom jaw in or just to keep it as is, almost like a slender. Yeah, drawing on apps are good. The only downside, well, there's a few downsides in my opinion, is that it's harder to take when traveling because you have to worry about charging and all that stuff. And the good thing about learning to draw traditional on pen paper is that I can go for a walk with, a small book, one the size of my hand. This one I obviously wouldn't take with me, it's a bit too big. Just a small A6 pocketbook. Sit down and do a little sketch. And that's another cool thing about doing small sketches is you get better at silhouettes. And the silhouette is probably the most striking part of a drawing because it's the overall. And if you have a good idea about silhouettes, then everything else kind of starts to fall into place. These are just ideas that have helped me along the journey. I'm still on my journey as well. It's always a learning process to see what works and what can change. But now I'm going in and adding where the darkest values will be. So in the eyelids, there'll be some very dark values. Under the bill here, there'll be some very dark values. Essentially where there won't be much light. Make it pop out a little bit. And underneath the crinkles of his bill, might actually fold this over a little bit. Make it look more like a nose. Maybe this is his breathing apparatus. Maybe just sharpen my pen a little bit. Bear with me. Just need to do this. Empty this out. I think I have some lead stuck in my sharpener as well, which is always fun. Oh, splash zone. Welcome. If you're just joining, we're trying to create a creature and philosophize a little bit about the nature of drawing. About intentions and things like that. Oh, I've got a bit of charcoal on my finger. We can do a bit of finger painting. should be enough. Dull pencils make dull drawings, as someone said, but I don't know if that's true. I feel like dull intentions make dull drawings. So I'm just going in, giving it a bit more of a fine tune, putting wrinkles and all sorts of things on it. You know, I could call it here, but I think I want to go for the 30-minute mark before I call it. Give it a stronger outline and make it pop out a little bit. Oh, sorry, I missed a couple of these. First thing, I don't know, is to draw a perfect circle when I see other artists. So, draw anime characters and random characters. Yeah, I mean, you're never gonna draw a perfect circle, but you can get better at drawing circles and drawing ellipses. And a lot of the time, especially when it comes to like anime or cartoon characters, there's a lot of wiggle room for error, because it's not a real character. So if you draw a bad circle, that's okay. Like, it doesn't have to be a good circle. Make it a bit distorted. Like, also, when you're drawing circles, don't have your hand planted on the wrist. Use your shoulder to draw circles. And don't just draw one and be like, ah, that's terrible. Draw a few. I don't know if this is actually on the... Draw a few. You probably can't even see it. And then use the average of the circles to help you find your shape. Because the first circle you're going to draw is probably not going to be fantastic, or the second one, but the average of them, you'll start to see soon, is going to be what catches your eye, right? So yeah, and then you can just use that as the reference point for the hair or whatever you want to use it for. Not sure where I was going with this. But yeah, also keep it light. Don't go too dark too quickly if you're using a softer pencil, like a 6 or a 5B. This is a charcoal. This is a fairly hard one, so I had to go a fair bit onto to make the shape. But if you're going to, that's a good method of doing it. That has worked for me. And I may as well turn this into something while it's here. Since we're talking about circles, may as well add something. Maybe he has some sort of powers or... Maybe he's a sorcerer of some sort. And this is by no means a perfect circle, but very rarely will you have to actually draw a perfect circle, unless you're doing mathematical design, some sort of industrial building, where you use a compass and get really nitty-gritty into it. But I think this is the basis of what I wanted to do. Pretty happy with the overall feeling of the drawing. Maybe it's like a flame ball or some sort of energy ball he's got going on. It kind of just like follows them around, or her. And we might finish up here. I could go really nitty-gritty into the detail onto this one, but I don't think it's necessary. If you enjoyed today's, there will be more coming. I'm going to try churn them out daily, but it might need a bit of tweaking and fine-tuning. Hopefully in the mornings at around a similar time. If you enjoyed it, like, subscribe, all that jazz. Hope to see you in the future. Peace.